Hello, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about Ubik by k.dick. So this is a very, very famous, very celebrated book by k.dick. This is the third one I've read by k.dick. So I've read Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep many, many years ago, and Time Out of Joint as well, which I want to read again because I think I need to. But this one absolutely knocked me for six. I thought it was absolutely amazing. So I'll talk about why in a second. Ubik.
Wow them in the end. You got a hit. You can have flaws, problems, but wow them in the end, and you've got a hit.
So there are many themes explored in Ubik. So I'll talk about the narrative in a minute, but you've got religion explored. The idea of a creator is kind of in the background a little bit. Identity, corporate loyalty, and corporate behaviour as well, within the context of a futuristic capitalist state. And around that, you've got the idea of psychic ability being used for capitalist purposes. And those things are weaved around this really interesting narrative that starts off relatively simple, but then just keeps changing throughout the book. I will say, just a little warning, that I don't know if you'll have this experience, but I definitely had an experience where the first quarter of the book felt a little bit muddled, didn't seem to be kind of very focused, and wasn't really grabbing me. And then suddenly it took off, and it just got better and better. By the time it got to the middle of the book, it was really exhilarating. The ending is fantastic, and that first quarter, don't get put off by it. Keep going, because it really does become so rewarding, and it's fantastic in its story, but it starts off kind of odd in a way, and it starts off in a way that doesn't really, it feels like it's not going anywhere, but it really does go in many unexpected places. The thing about the way the plot moves, the carpet just keeps being swept from under you. So the main character ends up being a guy that's introduced in quite a nonchalant way at the beginning, Joe Chip, and after that first quarter, it's clear that he's the main character, and reality keeps shifting for him, and he's got to try and work out what the hell's going on. And that mystery is developed and built on through the whole thing. And as the reader, you're wondering what's happening. And occasionally you think you've got the answer, and then it'll change again. And you go, oh, okay, it's this. Oh, okay, it's this. And it's so cleverly done, and it's so gripping. It's a very short book, but there's no sense that it's meandering. It really does pack a punch. And by the end of it, you're just thinking, well, that was a hell of a ride. And it's the journey that the characters go on, specifically Joe Chip, you go with them, and you're wondering where this is going, and it really pays off brilliantly by the end of it. And even on the last page, it sort of shifts again, so it makes you think about what Ubik might have meant. And each chapter starts with a little advert about the product Ubik, which the narrative is kind of purposeful. He keeps looking for, or has, or encounters a spray can of Ubik or some kind of bottle of Ubik, and by the end of it, it's not quite what you thought it was. But yeah, absolutely amazing book, absolutely worth the reputation it's got, and definitely worth reading. But I'd just say, just don't be put off by the first, 40 or 50 pages, because it really does take off, and it's absolutely worth it. So, k.dick, Ubik, read it.